Chilling.
So happy to see you, man, for the first time, man. Nice to meet
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Yeah, sorry about the little setup right here. I just moved to my new home, so basically you're very lucky because this episode when we're recording, this is gonna be my first episode from my new place with my new setup.
Nice.
Yeah, so right now I'm just seeing you from a big screen TV that I got. It's not that big; it's like 27 inches, but I just needed my glasses so I can actually see you. You know, 4K value. You know.
Definitely.
Yeah. So how's it going, man? How's it going?
I'm just chilling. Got off work. You know, I'm out in LA right now, going to Icon. So yeah, it's been a grind.
Oh, you go to Icon?
Yeah.
Really? How long have you been in Icon?
I'm on quarter 3 right now, so I've been here since January.
Oh, so you're already over there.
Yeah, almost. Like December, I'll be out of here.
Damn, that's actually pretty dope, man. I know a lot of homies have went to Icon, man, and right now they're like one of the biggest bass producers out there in the world. My closest homie is Lane, who's known as Careless Castle, and
Careless Castle's dope.
Yeah, and he's friends with Kyle Company and Phase One and Wooly. Like all those guys are just the homies, you know, and they're all homies of my big homie Needy. So it's actually pretty dope that you are in Icon, man.
Yeah, it's definitely I think changed a lot since those guys were there. Like we're in a whole new building now and stuff, so it's gotten a lot bigger.
Oh, dope. So what actually, like, you know, say, hey, I want to go to Icon? Is it because you saw some of the biggest producers coming from there, or is this for something other than that? Is there other reasons?
I mean, yeah, I found out about Icon like 5 years ago when like Slander and them like mentioned they came out of there. And so like I always wanted to go there. And like when I started producing, I guess that was always like a goal to go there. And you know, I finished up my 4-year degree at Florida Atlantic. And
really?
Yeah, I got a marketing degree and I just decided to sell my car and send it out to LA.
Yo, what?
Yeah.
Dude, wait, hold on. Whoa, this is amazing. This is bro. So you're telling me that you went to FAU for 4 years?
Well, I started out at FSU, but yeah, ended up. It took me about like 6 years to get a 4-year degree.
I got 6 years in engineering as well, man. I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Let me tell you this. Like, I don't have that big of a regret of me having a degree, but I kind of do wish that if I knew that the school I was going to didn't have an audio engineering program, I would have never gone to that school. I would have just go straight to the school that I went to. I went to SAE Miami.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I went there, or I could have gone to Full Sail, you know. Full Sail has an ETSA program with audio engineering, you know, and that was my thing. That's what I love. And I mean, that's what I do for a living, you know. So like if I would have known that, I would have basically not go to college and just go straight to those courses, you know, and
yeah.
And
that's
get myself.
How I felt. I like didn't discover producing until like 2-3 years into college.
Interesting.
And then, I just like picked it up full force, and like I ended up taking breaks from school just so I could like produce more. And like my parents just wanted me to finish my degree, so I got it done, and then I just kind of risked it all and sent it out here.
Hey, that's how you get it. Risk it to get the biscuit.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I hear you on the parenting part. You know, my parents were also telling me like, no, you got to finish school, man. You can't just like go ahead and quit halfway there. Like you have to have at least a degree. And I'm like, all right, let me just, you know, get it over. I was already done. Like mentally, I was like, I really don't give a shit about college right now. Like this is not what I wanted. You know, I've been DJing for over 15 years. I want to involve with everything that involves with DJing, festivals and music, all that stuff. My college didn't have any of that. So mentally, I was just like, I don't want this, but you know what? Let me just finish it up so I could just have my parents say, here you go. Here's your degree. Can I do this now? Oh, thank you, Jesus.
Yeah. That's basically how it went for me.
Yeah, man. So I feel you on that, my man. And one thing that caught me off guard when you say that you went into marketing and then all of a sudden you went to producing. That's actually very interesting because most of the time, a lot of up and coming producers are not very good at marketing. You know, even I'm including myself. I'm not very good at marketing myself that well as I should. If I had somebody to help me, that would be great. But yeah, like you have one of the most important tools that a up and coming producer needs and wants, you know? So that's actually pretty cool. And have you already like started like to do or planned out stuff of how you're gonna market yourself as an artist?
This year has just kind of been like a test run for me. So like I sent it out here and I've been making music and just kind of like getting better as it gone by. And like I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just start releasing music this year. So I released like a showcase mix in January of like what I was sitting on, and then like since then I've been releasing like once every 2 weeks. Yeah, for like the whole year. And you know, I've just seen like great results. So now I'm like getting my plan together for next year, and it's going to be like a little bit more.
So let me get this. You basically do music almost every week.
Every week, yeah, every day.
Every day. Like how long, how usually does it take you to do a project of yours? One single session?
The hardest part is finding like the idea. Like once when the idea comes, like finishing the project's the easiest part.
And how often does it like, bam, this is what I want and this is how I'm doing it?
I go through like spurts. Like right now, like I haven't like written much the last 3 weeks. Like even though I'm in the DAW every day, I just like haven't produced a song. You know, then I'll have months where I'm like cranking out 3, 4, sometimes like 5 tunes. So
how long? Like a 1 day, 1 week, and 1 month?
Yeah, like in a month, like I'll crank out like 3 to 5 tunes, but then like I'll have months where I crank out only one. So like it just depends, definitely.
So it definitely varies every month or so, you know, depending how you're feeling, how your mood is coming.
I think it would be kind of like psychopathic if someone was just creative 24/7.
Oh, I know a lot.
Like able to turn it on 24/7, like
bro,
that seems like a lot.
I know it's a lot, but surprisingly, I know people that are like that. Like Nitty Gritty, like shout out to my brother. He is,
I know. He's a writing monster.
Like he's a Terminator as it is, man. Like, and I've been on sessions with him, and we've done collaborations together, and I've seen him working, and I'm like, dude, is there like an off switch out of you? And that's the thing. He not only he does his own music as Nitty Gritty, but he also does music as side piece with Party Favor, and he also does producer beats for artists. Like
he does like writing camps and shit.
Like he does music for Diplo. He does music for other artists that I'm not gonna mention names because they're all NDA signed contracts. But it's like, wow, like how the hell you even like turn it off? And I see him goofing around in fucking Instagram. It's like, see, this is what I don't understand. How the hell do you have the time and not turn that shit off? And then when I see him just goofing around and all of a sudden the laptop is like, there you go. Less than 30 minutes, he's making a song, and all he has to do is just mix and master. And that's one guy. I know on Semi-Dubs, shout out to him. I know Infinite, shout out to him, Infinite as well, homies. They're like that as well. Mantic, Ryan, bro, my brother. But you know what's funny about Mantic? He's kind of like you in a sense that he can whip out 5-10 projects in 1 month, and then the next few months is just dead, you know. No motivation. But then once he gets the motor running, or you give him something to motivate him, oh my god.
A big thing is school right now at Icon. I have a lot of homework that's like not for my project, like my personal project. So like it's taking my creativity to do other things, which is not a bad thing. But
So hold on. So like in terms of homework wise, like what is it that you guys normally do in Icon? I'm very curious, and because I know Icon and SAE are two different monsters. Like I know SAE is more heavily focused for audio engineers like myself, but they do give us the bits and bits of music production and making voiceovers and studio quality time and engineering and stuff like that. They do give us, a lot more than just audio engineering. Like we know how to use Ableton, we know how to use Logic, we know how to use Pro Tools, and so all the other, VSTs. But Icon is the only one that I don't know what's like heavily focused. I'm pretty sure they're more focused on producing music rather than engineering. Am I far? Am I correct?
Yeah, there's like it's like 80% producing and like 20% engineering. Yeah, like for the most part, it's like a production crash course.
Okay.
Like if you're like a beginner to producing, like you will like flower at Icon. You will learn everything you need to know, and they will cut your learning curve, like for sure.
Damn, maybe I should have gone to LA then. Shit.
But I knew like a lot of stuff before going there. Like I learned my production from Nosphere, if you know him.
Oh, Nosphere, yeah.
So like when I got into production, he was doing lessons back in the day for like $20 an hour or something like that, and I was just like booking like 3-4 hours at a time with him for like a year.
That's fire. I wish.
Yeah. And then so shout out to him. He's still doing production lessons. They're a little bit more expensive now, so if anyone sees this, definitely hit him up.
Absolutely, hit up Nosphere, man. He's got you. Oh, dude, you were lucky enough to get lessons for Nosphere. I was lucky enough to get lessons for Lane Careless Castle. Back then he was known as Adair.
Yeah.
I got a session with Company. I got a few sessions with Crimson Child, and a few not I wouldn't call sessions with Modestep. Shout out to my brothers. It was more of them showing me the ropes and showing me like, this is how you do sound design and this and that, and this is how we do it. Because they were crashing in my place when they were playing Ultra.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Yeah. So that our former manager at the time, he hooked them up to my place. I tell them, it's like, if they have no other place, just crash at my place. Like there's space for everybody, and they're very grateful. Josh and Pat are just like sweetest people you could ever imagine. So if you ever meet Modestep, Josh and Pat, tell them Wolfson sent you, say hi, and they're like,
Josh is he's downloaded a couple of my tunes. He always shows love.
Oh, that's dope, dude. If you're getting already loved by, you're right now in the right path.
Yeah,
you're right now in the right path, man, and I'm happy to hear that, brother. I'm very happy to hear that.
I always keep an eye out whenever they ask for tunes that come in their Twitter DMs.
Yeah, that's
I try to be on that.
That's what's up, man. That's good, But yeah, like I've learned mostly sound designing from those big monsters, And you're lucky. Let me tell you, you're lucky enough that Nosphere charged you $20. These guys were charging me. This was like almost 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah,
they were charging me at the time $60, $50.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. That's what it's up to now. I mean, any other people I've hit up, it's like 100.
Oh yeah. I know Samplifier was charging around there. Ivory was charging as well that much. Like like a lot of these disciple guys were charging. Yeah. But I mean, like they have the reasons.
It's the best way to do it though. Like just taking lessons through Nosphere just like flourished into a friendship. So like me and him are boys now, and like we hop on Discord or Zoom whenever just to chop it up and, just text each other whenever.
Of course.
And like, it's just good having someone there to like kind of guide you, but also be your friend. So,
bro, and those are like the best relationships, because obviously he's teaching you all the ropes. And once you're right there next and you're like, yo, bro, we're right here. All right, let's do something together, man. And let's hop in together on a show. Let's see each other. Let's do something. It's like stuff like that. It flourishes.
I can't wait for him to get his visa so he comes over to the States.
Yeah.
Because he's over in Hungary right now. So
in Hungary?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
A lot of talented producers over there, actually.
I can vouch for that. In Hungary itself or in Europe?
In Hungary. A lot of talented producers.
Wow. Well, yeah. I need to look for them, you know.
Yeah, they have a whole little like clique going on over there.
Oh, for real? Oh, then I have to search at them because I don't know like if you've seen much of my podcast, but the whole premise of my show is basically I wouldn't say like, oh yeah, I discover artists. I just basically people on a spotlight and say, yo, take a look at this guy. Like, yo, keep an eye on this guy. Like, yo. Because most of the time, some of you guys, like these up-and-comers, I feel like you guys don't get the recognition that you guys deserve. Or you don't get the credit that you guys deserve, you know? And I feel like you guys are always being like not that you guys it's your fault and not you guys do anything. It's just the industry itself just put you guys.
The game is
the game,
especially now, it's in a weird place.
Yeah.
It's in a weird place. It's
yeah. And when I see stuff like that, like it makes me mad because it's like it's not fair. Like, why is it that the people who work the hardest and have the most talent are the people who are least appreciative, you know? Like, why is it that this artist right here gets all the fame and glory because he has the following and the likes and crap, but his music is garbage?
Yeah. And the streams aren't even real.
Exactly. They're all butted. And then you got someone like you who's very talented and knows the path and knows the game and knows the people. You're not there along with the other people that you should be right now, you know?
Yeah, I look at it as like, it's just going to make it all the worth more while. It's going to be very sweet when I taste the juice.
Absolutely. At this point is consistency and perseverance, man.
Yeah.
Just don't stop. Like if like you feel like you're getting closer, that's because you are getting closer. And a lot of people actually, when they get closer to the end goal.
Yeah. I've been kind of not debating quitting, but just like a lot of emotions come up when you start getting closer to the industry and you realize how it's working and like what it takes and who's doing what for who. And it'll fuck with your head.
No, it'll
make you question whether you want it or not.
Yeah. It's kind of almost the same in my end because it did fuck me up when I was about to start like take off, like literally take off, and it kind of fucked me up a little bit. And I myself got myself into a deep depression about it. I mean, a shitty job, shitty lifestyle, like not doing drugs or alcohol at all. But it's just the living conditions that I was just not great. And then the job that I had I worked on the weekends. It was 12-hour shifts. So basically all my juices were left like in the Monday, Tuesdays, you know? And the Monday, Tuesdays is the days that I have to force myself to do music. But at the time I was just brain dead. Yeah. Like I'm fried over it. And then
that's how it is.
Yeah.
Like it wrapping up on Icon. It was like the first 2 quarters cranking out tunes and stuff, but now it's just like I'm mentally taxed.
Nah, and it's real. It's real, and I wish I could have like taken more mental breaks. Maybe I could have gone a little bit more further, but I was just pressuring myself. I'm saying like, fuck, I know Mostep. Oh, I know Ross from Disciple. I know this guy from Monster. I know this guy and this guy and this guy. Fuck, I got their content. Shit, I need to make something. I need to have something. If I don't make something, I lose their contacts. I'm like, it was like a never-ending pressuring that I'm pressuring myself, that it got to a point that I wasn't making music for myself. I was just making music to please others. And because that's a big error, I started to sound like others and not myself. I didn't discover myself until now. Now I have my own sound. But before, I was just like, I couldn't, man. I couldn't. Yeah. And I had to do a step back and made a hiatus with my music and said, like, oh, fuck this. Like, my health is much more important than this shit. And then, what you know, a few months later, pandemic happened and I started my own podcast show.
Nice.
So everything happened for a reason. And I've never been so happy in my life with this show, man. And the fact that, let me tell you, I didn't start this podcast to do interviews or anything like that. That was never my intention. My intention was basically ranting about the music industry and giving knowledge to people like you and other up-and-comers, the ins and outs of the industry and how ugly it is and how you guys can take this information and use it to your advantage, you know? Because I don't want anybody to be used like I was being used, like other homies were being used, you know? And
it happens.
Yeah, no, it definitely happens. But if there's a way to avoid it, wouldn't you take it?
100%.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the whole premise of my show and how I started it. But then when I started doing interviews with people, and I don't know what happened, that it became a snowball effect that, you know, I started with 1 and then 2 and then 10 and then now got 20. And then now I got like however people I have in my show, in which I got people already scheduled for the rest of the year.
That's awesome.
It's nuts, and I'm very happy and blessed. And I always tell people, it's like, I don't care much about the numbers. It's more about the connection and the conversation and the relationship that I get to establish with people that I've never met, and having that relationship that we can both agree because we both struggle the same thing, in a sense, you know, like I sense your struggle. I know what it's like, you know, and we can relate to that, and, you know, and it helps people out. I mean, shit, like, dude, earlier you were saying that there's a lot of artists in Hungary, right?
Yeah.
That they're very dope. I need to find them. I want to have them talk to them. Up. Absolutely. Look up. Because
dude, DM Nosphere. I'm sure he'll get on a pod with you. Another one is Moldae.
Moldae?
Moldae. Moldae.
Okay.
And then Protos.
Protos. I think I've heard of Protos.
Yep. And then there's a lot. Moley, Moley. He's pretty big. He was on the Versa EP, the first one.
Oh, dope.
And then another one called MSF.
See, that's dope, man. And I would love to have that over in my show and kick it, man, because I've discovered a lot of European artists from there. Like, I know Lost Chameleon, that's from Greece. I know Navet's from Croatia. He did the Disciple remix competition. I know a bunch of the people from, the French community.
Oh yeah, the French community is just killing me right now.
Dr.
I don't know what it is.
Dr. Ushu, Bizo, fucking Izambi, like, dude, and they're all clicked with these guys with Sample Fire, Ivory, Dirty Phonics, E-Craze. All these guys, they're all in that French clique, man. And I'm like, yes. I'm so happy I was able to sit down with these guys, and I knew these guys were going to blow the fuck up.
Oh, yeah. And the same thing's going to happen with the Hungarians. I'm calling it.
Oh, so. Absolutely. Zero doubt about that.
Me and Noser were talking about that the other day. He is like, I can't wait to bring my whole crew over.
Oh. the Hungary takeover.
Yeah.
That's fucking dope. So hold on. Let me ask you this, man. So you said that when you got into Icon, you already came to Icon with some knowledge thanks to Nosphere, you know? Now, was it really worth staying in school, or would you actually prefer at this point, like, man, I already know I have this stuff. This was just extra. I could have just like kept it with Nosphere and continue paying him and then be on that path.
Like, before I came out here, I was like kind of already done doing sessions, like paid sessions with No Sphere.
Mm-hmm.
And like when I came out here, it's just kind of put me in a zone of like making music and like saw what I needed to do. But yeah, you're right. Like in class, like I do be getting like a little frustrated because I already know this stuff, and there's a lot of repeat information, and like, but then there's other kids in my class who like aren't there yet, so they need that information.
Right.
So that's definitely been like hard for me, but I just like realized like the environment's like what I needed. Like I needed to just like tell myself like I'm fucking doing this shit, and after this, like it's not stopping. So
that's actually a huge benefit for going to schools like that. I can see why. Like if you're like a first timer, if you don't know nothing and you just want to learn, then Icon makes sense for you. You know, all through and through, 100%. If you're definitely like came there and you're like already know the knowledge and you're like, well, I make sense, especially when you say that, okay, I know the stuff, that's easy, but it's the networking that I'm doing here. It's the people that I'm doing here. It's the collaborations, the establishing relationships, you know, learning how to establish a relationship, you know, because because let me tell you, a lot of people do not know how to approach an artist or approach somebody in general and establish a relationship, whether it's business or friendship. Everything is just like, yo, check out my demo, man. I tell you, it's the fire shit.
In the DMs.
Yeah, that's the version of it. The DM's like, yo, check out.
I mean, like I got into this game like really heavily, like when COVID was going on.
Oh, that's the perfect timing.
So like, yeah, I never really learned the in-person networking grind of it until afterwards. And then like the game has changed, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, bro. Before probably I'm wrong about this, but I feel like right now it's much more easy to get in than it was back then. I could be wrong. I think it
depends like what you're looking at. Definitely. Cause like it seems like a lot of stuff is friend of friends, helping friends get on stuff. And
that is a big factor.
But then when you look like years ago, like in 2016, like the tune quality was not where it's at now. Like,
yeah. No, I can safely say that the quality and the mixing is right now at its best, and it's surprising to me that we continue to hear and create new sound. Like, for example, 4 or 5, 10 years ago, you would have never imagined future rhythm be a thing.
Yeah,
and it became a thing. Like, who would have thought that we can actually do that? But hey, some of these folks like Skybreak, Sharks, and Chime, Ace Aurora find out the formula, and now they ride in the wave, and now that's their genre.
They did catch the wave for sure.
Yeah. So I'm always impressed that every so often the new trend comes and new shit comes up around it, and I'm just surprised that there's more to sound. Like I felt like, because I feel like that was one of the things that I was afraid about dubstep, is that it's gonna get to a point in which everything's gonna sound the same, even though there's stuff.
And a lot of artists complain about that.
And you can see that, because I think when Serum came about, that's what revolutionized dubstep sound overall and made it into the state where it is right now, where everybody hates Serum. At least there's big established people, they'll tell you, like, I try to find other ways not to use Serum, because it became such an industry standard that every fucking person in the world can have it and they can create say shit. I mean, Cymatics didn't help much. Like, they basically created the whole sample packs wave into a whole nother level, you know, and making everybody sound like Cymatics shit, even though most of the shit came from Infinite Company and Wooly and Careless and Phase One, but still, like that whole Cymatics did not help the industry at all to make Serum more lovable. In fact, everybody hates Serum now.
Yeah. I try not to use serum, but I always end up using it.
I mean, it happens. I mean, I can see why like people still use it to this day, because it's like literally the most user-friendly VST to do sound designing. Yeah. Because before it was basically what? Massive?
Yeah, which I started getting into again. Massive, and I've been diving into Operator.
Holy crap. Ableton Operator?
Like crazy. It's so powerful.
That's fire. Hey, I'm an Ableton expert, so
Operator is powerful.
Yeah, bro. If you check out my sessions right now, you can see like any third-party plugins that I use are probably Fat Filter, Serum. What's the one that I always use for resampling? Portal.
Yeah,
Portal, and I don't use Ozone anymore to mix and master. Now it's just all stock plugins for Ableton. And I know there's probably a Valhalla. I don't consider Valhalla that much a third party, even though it is a third party, but like everybody can
have integrated.
Yeah. Cable guys, I use sidechain. I use compressor to sidechain on Ableton. So I stopped using cable guys. Yeah, it's just right now on top of my head, it's just only three or four probably third-party plugins. Everything else is just Ableton stock plugins. Like
Ableton stock with the updates has gotten so good.
It's ridiculous, bro. It does not match with Flury Loops or Logic's. Like I keep telling people, like Ableton is just the best. No biasy. It's just Ableton's the best.
Fruity Loops got some cool things in it, but Ableton just stays on the updates and the new stuff coming in. And
I feel it's the thing is, like I feel like Ableton always levels up.
Yeah.
Versus others, they
just stay the same.
Yeah, they kind of stay the same. And if they do level up, it's too little too late. And two things that I will say about Ableton, which I highly recommend people to, like, if you're gonna start on something, go start on Ableton. Ableton is super user friendly. Like it didn't took me much for me to learn Ableton. In fact, I had like a few sessions with a mentor before I went to school, and I learned it very quickly. And surprisingly, Ableton lets me edit all my podcast videos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can drop videos in there.
Makes my life easier because all I got to do is just edit it, bounce it, put Premiere to put a little bit of coloring and intro and outro, and that's it.
Yeah,
I don't have to do anything. And the second thing about Ableton, which is I feel like this is like the most underutilized thing that I feel like not a lot of people know about it or use it to its full potential, is the ability of warping your audio. Like the fact that you can just map out your freaking audio and stretch it out.
Yeah. And then you can add transients and stuff in it and like all crazy stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Like you literally can make one drop with one sample shot. Sample shot. You just have to resample it a few times, add a few effects, and stretch out the fucking audio, and then do some modulations.
Yeah, it definitely helps get ideas going for sure.
Like that's the ability that Ableton gives you, and it's easy to do that. It's not like it's it's fucking hard to do that. Like no, it's really on your fingertips that you can do this. Like that's it.
I always say the hardest part is opening Ableton. that's the biggest struggle. Because once when it's open, I'm in there for 5-6 hours. But
I'm with
sometimes you just like you're hesitant to open it.
Now, when it comes to sound designing, do you actually like do sound designing through resampling methods or Serum? Like, what is your method on that?
I do a lot in MIDI.
Okay.
And I'll use like a sampler or a simpler in MIDI.
Ooh.
And then like just do a bunch of post-processing.
Oh.
I like working in MIDI so I can like drag and drop other sounds and stuff. Like I'll start in the synth, but I always make something so basic, and then I'll resample that and drop it in a simpler and just kind of go crazy with it.
That's actually pretty interesting. Yeah.
I make the smallest little ticks and bloops in Serum or Massive or something, and then I just drop them in a simpler and just see what I can do to it.
That's actually pretty good. My method of doing it's the same method as Josh's method is basically do whatever you do on Serum, right? Find the sound, even if it's the most basic shit. Just find the sound. Now with that sound, make an entire drop out of that sound, just that one sound. So I just basically, I freeze flatten it and then just resample it by every channel has a different layer, has a different sound. And then I do a bunch of other shit. And then that's where I drop Portal in it. And then just listen to some freaky glitchy shit. And then
sometimes I'll just do some wild stuff. Resample for like 30 minutes.
Frequency shifter, bro. You drop that shit and you let it ride, man. And oh my God, you always find some gnarly stuff. And the funny thing is like when he told me about that, is like once you found that, now make a song out of that one sound. And I'm like, are you serious? It's like, yeah, this song that I always do, it's all because of one sound. If you do that, your entire song sounds very cohesive, and it's under that one note that you had, as that one sample that you did. That's how you say. That's how you stand out, and I believe that because the songs that I've done so far in the clubs we're about to release pretty soon. It's all based on his idea, that same idea that he taught me, and I was like, oh my God. I never realized how easy this shit was. It's like, oh my God, why did I not learn this a long time ago? Fuck.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely be experimenting with that for sure.
Now, you said that you were also doing Massive as well, right? Would you also try to, or have you experiment other, BSDs like Faceplant or Vital?
Yeah, Faceplant is one like a year or two ago I really got into, and I could never get my sound with it or like anything I was happy with. So yeah, and then Vital, I love the noise oscillator, how you can drop samples into that.
Yeah.
So usually that's what I do. I'll just like make a simple synth, and then I'll drop it in the Vital sampler and then do like Vital effects on it, because the effects on Vital are the chef's kiss. The algorithm's so good for some reason.
It works. If it works, it works, man.
Yeah.
The other thing I was gonna say, I do agree with you with Faceplant. Like it's good at the beginning, but then it becomes like, I'm not trying to get the sounds that I want to.
It's almost like too many options.
Yeah.
Like you can have unlimited wavetables, unlimited oscillator. Like, it's just a little too much.
Yeah, something like that. But it's something that I do appreciate from Kilohertz is that that you don't have to just buy Faceplant to use all the effects. You can just buy the effects individually. So like the transient from Kilohertz and the pitch vector and the EQ and
disperser.
There was the disperser from Kilohertz. Yeah. I bought those individually and they were like on sale for like $9, $20, depending on the effect. And let me tell you, those are the other third parties that I use for post-processing or for sound designing and resampling stuff, because something about it is just so crisp, clean, and it's so accurate for some reason.
Yeah,
like their effects are so accurate, and the way you want it, like you have like the knobs itself makes it so easy that this is how I want it. Bam, and it's just amazing.
Yeah, it is. I love Kilohertz stuff.
Yeah,
it's been in my DAW for like 2 years now.
Yeah, no, like
never going back.
No, absolutely not, bro. One of the questions I definitely want to ask you, because now that we're talking about sound designing, do you feel that sound designing is a luxury or a necessity for a producer?
That's hard. I mean, can go both ways. I guess it depends how your brain works, because there's definitely people who can make it work who don't touch synths at all. You know, there's some big people in the game that don't touch a synthesizer. But then I feel like the people who are the most revolutionary are the ones in the synth. So I don't know. It's a little double-edged sword.
There's no right or wrong answer for that. And I do ask,
there isn't.
I do ask that to everybody. Oh, established artists, up-and-comers, I ask that to everybody. And I tell them there's no right or wrong answer. It's just your own personal opinion or preference of what you think about it. In my opinion, I feel like it is a necessity for an up-and-coming producer to learn how to sound designing, because now in today's...
Yeah, you should know the basics, of course. You should know how to get around a synth.
Yeah, because now a lot of the music that it's been doing, now it's becoming more sound-driven. Like you don't want to sound the same as any of these artists. You want to stand down and be like, oh yeah, that's a Wolfson song. Oh yeah, that's a Zoinks song. Oh yeah, that's that song, you know? You don't want to be associated. Oh yeah, I've heard this sound from, you know, from this guy and from this other guy, you know? So
definitely.
So that in that aspect, I always do believe that it is definitely necessary. I mean, shit, for fuck's sakes, some of my good friends, homies, Fots D and Price, they're in the house scene, killing it right now.
Yeah.
Yet those guys are right. They show me the session. They sound design. They're into house. House is.
I mean, yeah, house is known for the splice loops.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
At Icon, it's like 80% house kids.
I can imagine. I can imagine. And there's always that.
You know, they got like 10 audio tracks in their projects, and it's all splice loops. And they're like, check out this banger I just made. Shout out to my homies though.
Oh my God, bro. Like, dude. And you know what's the fucked up thing about that is that I have a homie that's making it. He's like killing it right now in the house scene. And I interview him in the podcast, and the guy literally does not sound design. He just does splice loops, and for somehow gets released on 4B's label. Diplo's now making songs with him. I'm like, all I had to do was download splice sounds, and bam, I can make a banger with fucking Skrillex. That's what it takes. Like, what the fuck did I just do, man? Where did I go wrong? And it's funny, like, bro.
Dubstep's like the only genre that like cares about using splice samples almost.
Dubstep and drum and bass, basically anything in the bass scene cares.
Bass scene.
Yeah, they all care about sound design. Like, they can tell right away if you're using a splice sound. And it's so easy because people will just go on Twitter and just complain about it and be like, oh. You're using splice sound. I know that. That's from the Virtual Riot sample pack. I know it because I have it too.
Yeah.
By the way, check my SoundCloud.
The shameless plug in the comments.
Oh my God, aren't they shameless, man? I had a lot of people DMing, like, yo, Wilson, we should collab, man. This collab is fire. This will get you back in the map. And I'm like, I never left the map. Yeah, thank you for what?
Yeah. Awkward.
Yeah. I'm very honest. I'm just telling fans, but no fans, man. And by the way, this is not how you approach somebody for a collaboration.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta say it. I have to say it because if I don't say it, they will never learn. And they'll keep doing that on everybody. And then all of a sudden you got this bitter person. Oh, fuck everybody. Nobody wants to collab with me. I'm a Sheldon. I'm gonna be the next, fucking Martin Garrix of dubstep. They're like, all right, man. We're just telling you how the game works, man. But yeah, if you wanna, tell everybody to fuck off, and all right, that's your own thing, man. Do you, boo boo? Do you?
So you're from Miami, right?
I was born and raised in Puerto Rico.
Oh, okay.
And then I moved to Miami 8 years ago. Yeah.
So you've been in the Florida scene a while. Yeah.
I've been in the Florida scene for a while. The nightlife, however, I've been in the nightlife for almost 20. No, I'm exaggerating. Is it 20 years? Wait, I'm 32. 17 years. 17 years I've been in the nightlife scene. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like if anything, I feel like Puerto Rico's not, scene is much more shady than Miami, and that's a lot for me to say.
Yeah, Miami is the base scene's not good.
Yeah, like if I would have known that
I was
when
playing
I started,
those no filter Thursday treehouse events for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was fun, but I just feel like I never did as good as it could have for some reason. I don't know what it is about bass in Miami.
I feel like bass itself doesn't have any love on Miami doesn't love bass for some reason.
Yeah, it's all house.
Yeah, it's and let me tell you, it's always been like that. Even when I got here, it's always been house all around. No matter where you go, it's house is like the most acceptable genre to do anything. When it comes to bass, it's like, oh, what is this shit?
Yeah.
The only period in which bass was allowed in Miami, like when I say allowed, it was like playing Wingwood, playing Club Space, Club Hard Nightclub at the time, you know, the Hangar. It was the festival trap era.
Yeah, like the 2014, 2015.
2016, you know, around there. Yeah, that was the era of festival trap. That was like the littest time ever. And that was the only time in which bass was acceptable, you know, when trap was around.
Yeah, literally.
And then
the Treehouse Miami thing, it's like they would have house or tech house in the other room, and that would be more popping than the headliner dubstep act they have going on.
Seriously,
in the main room, and it's just like, all right, it'll never work down here. Because I mean, like Treehouse, they were getting good names that whole half a year down there when they were doing the no filter Thursdays. They had everyone come through there.
Did it really packed even on a Thursday?
The only time it was like out of control was like when Murata came, and that was it. Yeah, it's like all the other nights the house room would be doing better.
See,
it was so weird.
Yeah, it's very weird. But then again, when I was starting up here in Miami, bass was always loved in the Broward area, like anywhere in the Fort Lauderdale, Pompano, Boca.
When Club Cinema was a thing.
Oh, you know, my first and last show was in cinema.
That you played?
Yeah.
Oh, really nice.
My first show was I opened for it was me and Audigy back to back, and we opened for Jello Claw. That was my first show, and my last show with cinema was the Borgor show. And I opened up for Borgor, and I was just by myself, and I was.
Oh my gosh, Borgor was crazy back then.
Oh man, and especially when he brings all the girls up on stage and let them twerk, I'm like, motherfucker, what? This is dubstep. I don't need this twerking shit.
And he's got a girlfriend. That's the craziest part. Or a wife, or
I don't know how even the wife lets him do all that shit, and he just like signs everyone's ass cheeks and shit, and just takes pictures. I'm like, I don't know how these Israelis like do their things, man. I know I do that, and my fiance will hang me up, man.
Yeah.
Straight up. So it's like I don't know, but that was wild. The Borgor era was pretty wild back then. And I fuck with Borgor a lot more back then than I do right now. I don't know. I haven't seen most of his stuff, so I can't critique him much. But
it seems like he's just playing shows still off of.
Yeah, he's just
what he had going on.
Yeah, but I feel like before he was much more of a wild boy. Before I don't know, maybe between him and the label, and I don't know. I feel like he was a pretty wild boy. He was just like more like, oh yeah, you know. Now it's more me.
He was more of like a celebrity than a DJ at one point. Like it just looked like he was winning the rock star lifestyle.
I mean, if you listen to some of his songs, I mean, like he raps, sings, and produces DJs. I'm like, damn, dog.
Yeah.
I mean,
him and Carnage were the biggest influences on me getting into
really
EDM. Like, yeah, Carnage was the first, like obviously, like I heard Skrillex back in the day, like when I got my first iPods and stuff, and
right.
It never really resonated to me until like that trap era started happening. Like Carnage, like back in the 2013 eras, when he was uploading all of his live show sets to SoundCloud, and like they would have his mic recording of him going crazy and stuff. That was like the ultra videos, like the recap videos and stuff. That was just the best time for EDM.
That was a great era in EDM, man. The big room era.
Yeah.
Big.
You had dubs popping off too.
Seriously.
Like that whole era was just insane.
That was fire, man. Like
that's when Ultra Miami was like out of this world, bro.
Yeah.
When Miami was a zoo. They did it 2 weekends and like
yeah. Bro, let me tell you, I feel like maybe it's just me and my own biasy, but I feel like Ultra at his peak when it was like the best was in 2015 when I attended for the first time.
Yeah.
Because that's where like shit, a lot of people were just like monsters. Like I remember I've seen Knife Party at his peak, Porter Robinson with the whole Language album playing on live, fucking Martin Garrix with all the OG songs that he had before he moved out of Spinning Records, Hartwell. Fuck, bro. I remember that the closing was fucking Skrillex and then Diplo to do his Jack Juice shit. That's where I feel like, bro, this is EDM.
Yeah.
This is EDM right here.
Yeah. That it almost brings back like goosebumps thinking about that time. Even though I wasn't a part of it, I was still in high school begging my parents to let me go to Ultra.
Yo.
I would just see the recap videos on YouTube. I'd be like, oh, I missed it.
Oh, bro. The energy was there. Yeah, the energy was there. Like I saw Skrillex. I was just like, oh my God, this shit is really happening, bro. And I see everybody just going nuts. In fact, I saw a fucking couple guys like going up the tree and start doing monkey shit. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
That was such an era, man. And after
then they didn't have Ultra for a couple of years after it got bad. And
yeah, bro. Like after that, I felt like Ultra went.
Definitely. The year I went in 2017, it was it's like y'all have hard copy tickets. All my friends are getting their tickets stolen out of their backpacks because we're all on God who knows what.
yo.
People got their phones stolen. It was always like it's a city festival, so
yeah, that happens once a year, thank God.
Yeah.
But now that as I'm older, I do appreciate more the Miami Music Week shows.
Yeah.
I appreciate a lot more
than going to Ultra.
Absolutely, man. Because it's because the shows itself, the variety is right there, bro. Like you can tell right away, like, oh, I want to go to the Disciple Takeover. Fuck, we can go there. I want to go to the Monster Cat pool party. Oh shit, we can go there. It's just so much variety, and it's not that expensive. It's just you can just appreciate more because and the fact is that you can have the same artist that you're like literally cheering for. They can literally be next to you, hanging and chilling, and you could just get to meet them and be like, "Yo, your shit is dope, man. Never stop."
Next year, I'm gonna be down there for Miami Music Week for sure. I told Landon, no lie.
Hell yeah! Shout out to No Lie, brother.
Yeah, I'm gonna come down there and vibe with them for Miami Music Week.
Absolutely. You know what's funny?
We'll have to link up.
Absolutely. You know what's funny is that I met Landon through Miami Music Week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, literally on a show that we were both invited to go from underground events. Shout out to Chris, Lorenzo, and Andy. Those guys are the G, man. They had Zoop Stool and they had like two other bass artists that I totally forgot. I'm sorry, I totally forgot. But then you got like the whole local stage and you got local artists playing there. And it was just all bass music overall. And then I met No Lie because I was doing interviews.
Mhm.
So I had a camera and a voice recorder, and I had a little spot in the lounge area for the green room for all the artists. And I basically start pulling people out. It's like, hey, you want to sit down with me, have a conversation? Do an interview with me, And we just did. And then I just met Landon from that, and he sat down and we just started talking. Yo, we just started talking nonstop about certain things. And then afterwards I asked him, like, yo, do you want to have an actual sit down with me on my podcast show on an actual interview with you? And he like, yeah. I'm like, and then we did it, and I just released the episode not too long ago,
Yeah, he's the homie. I met him through, he just hit me up to take production lessons from me. And I was halfway through the lesson, I was listening to his music. I was like, why are you hitting me up for lessons, kid? Like, I was like, you're good.
No, he's definitely dope, man. Some of the songs that he's been releasing, man, it's like, fuck, bro. Like, there you go. This is like our actual tear out producer, man. I fuck with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, ever since then we chill on Zoom every night. Just while we produce, we just there Discord. So we've become good online friends.
That's pretty dope. Now he mentioned me that he was part of a collective. Now, were you part of that same collective as well, or
no?
You never.
I've been approached by a couple collectives, but like I just don't think it ever ends well.
Really? How's that?
The commitment level usually isn't equal, and like very few of them do well. Like the only one that's done well in the last 5 years is the Grocery Boys.
My homies, Grocery Boys. Shout out to those guys.
But even still, like it could be a lot bigger than it is. But it could be a lot bigger than it is, for sure.
I can let me push back a little bit on that. The thing is, the Grocery Boys, it all started with just a couple of, people playing video games.
Mm-hmm.
They never met from different states. And it all started with one person saying, oh, yeah, I'm a music producer. It's like, dope, me too. And so on. We should link up and this and that. And then from playing video games, it became a collective to what it is right now. This is like years of development. Now they're starting to have the structure.
Yeah, I see that. They're doing that show and stuff. I think if they keep doing that, it could become something. But
yeah, and
it's like you got to make it a priority, though.
Yeah, you got to make it a priority. But the main dude, Mantic, Ryan, he's making sure that it's becoming a priority. And anybody who are like the founding fathers of the collective, he lets them know, it's like, yo, you need to take this shit seriously, because we want this to be like bigger than what it should be, and we want to support all the homies. We want to support everybody that's in the collective, and we want to push everybody, and everybody that's within the Grocery Boys. If you guys shows that everybody feel comfortable enough to play every single ID from the collective, instead of getting like, oh, I got a couple songs from these other artists, from Disciple, Subsidia, and Never Say Die, and whatnot. Like, no, all the songs came from the Groceries, and they're all IDs for each one. It makes your set unique and diverse, because nobody knows where they're coming from. Everybody will be oh, he's gonna play like a Zomboy song, that's to be expected. Like, nope. And I admire these guys, like the commitment that's getting pushed right now, finally able to do their first festival show in a sense. It's not really a festival, it's more of a huge event. But the fact that they managed to pull that through, next step is just making sure it becomes an imprint, you know?
Yeah.
And then its own booking agency, and then its own it's gonna become a multimedia thing. It's gonna be bigger than any of us, you know. I'm glad, I'm happy that Dr. Ushu, Danny, and Mantic invited me to be part of them, and I met so many wonderful guys from there, you know.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I can understand how it could sometimes be a little bit frustrating when you're getting into these collectors, because you expect them to share the same love as if you were giving them, you know. Like if you were to release a song, you expect for them to, you know, repost it, like it, comment, and do whatnot. Then when you see the end results not happening, you get disappointed. You feel like, damn, bro, then what was the whole love about it? Oh, but you expect me to repost your song and comment it and like it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you don't get to do that to me. Yeah, it's messed up. And I have like a few collectors here and there that I've been part of as well, that they're in this, that weren't almost in the same boat as that, you know. But luckily for me, Grocery Boys is different. Grocery Boys definitely are very supportive. I mean, shit, that's how I managed to get at least the grand majority of the boys over to my podcast show.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah. So like,
yeah, I'm good friends with Jay Moss. I'm pretty sure he's a part of that.
Oh, Jay Moss. I still haven't. You know, it's funny that I still haven't had a conversation with him. I haven't talked to him properly. It was always more a, hey, how are you? Hey, good to see you, and that's it. So I feel like he and I like never clicked right away because we never had those interactions. Versus Robbie Infinite, I click with him right away. Mantic, I click with him right away. Fots, I click with him. And every other person that I mentioned that's been on the show, I click with them right away, you know? And I chat with them. I stay in touch with them. But yeah, J Moss, I know J Moss is definitely one of the founding fathers of the whole collected. And yeah, he definitely gets his thing, you know? I wish I could actually talk to him a little bit more.
Yeah, you should. He's very nice. Me and him have gotten closer ever since we collabed and stuff. And
oh, that's dope.
Yeah, he brought me out to his show when he was in LA and stuff. So it's been dope.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, very appreciative of the boy.
That's good, man. Now, one thing I will say, like, it's always good to network around people, man, and especially people like these collectors as well, because you never know when they could actually like help you out in the long run, you know, or you know,
yeah.
It's maybe it's something that I probably already told you about it, but if they're not, like, you know, network. Your mind should always be networking 24/7 nonstop, you know, even from the phone, man. I mean, the way you and me network, it was because of No Lie. And No Lie was because I was, you know, I was in that show. And the way I got to that show, it's because I networked myself in Instagram and DM the main dudes of that event. And we became buddies, and you know, it becomes all a domino effect of how I got to certain people. Like how I got to this person, oh, it's because of this person. Fans to that guy.
Yeah, that's it's awesome to see, and it's cool to realize later how it all happened.
It's pretty though. Like unfortunately, you can never do this by yourself. You know.
Oh no,
that's
impossible to do it by yourself.
It's a very impossible role for you to do it by yourself. For now, I'm doing it by myself on my podcast. So it's because I don't know, the people that are doing podcasts in the EDM scene, I don't know if they're very cooperative or collaborative as I would have, you know.
Yeah,
I'm bleeping this name out, but Lizzie Jane. I tried to reach her out to do a collaboration, you know, or her to come over to the show, but her manager blew me off, and I took it like not too personal about it, because I get it, it's business, and I'm just starting now, and she's already getting there. But at the same time, it's like Like we're two podcast games. We're all fighting for the same cause. We're trying to help each other out. One thing I always learn, and this is something that you should keep an eye on if you ever get represented by a manager. If somebody reaches out to you and they tell you, yo, I want to do an interview for you. It don't matter how many followers you have or how many followers the person who's interviewing. If that person that's interviewing is doing it for free, take it, because it's free publicity for you. You didn't. I mean, you get.
I didn't hesitate when you texted me.
There you go. Automatically, you're getting free publicity from me. So, but yeah, like you always take free, like especially it's free because do you have any idea that some of these interviews that these artists get from, like, let's just say from these blogs like Dancing Astronaut or ADM.com or even the ones in Sirius, and you honestly believe that they do that for the goodness of their heart and say like, hey, come over to interview us?
No, it's a paycheck.
It's a paycheck, man. It's definitely a paycheck. And obviously you take the paycheck because like, holy God, look at that. It's so-and-so from Sirius at Sam, or it's, oh my God, it's Dancing Astronaut, like, obviously, but they're all paychecks, man. If an interview is asking
like
you,
like Dancing Astronauts getting paid.
Oh, you want to interview with us? Oh, it's gonna cost you like this much because we need to pay our editors, our writers, our journalists, for the piece and whatnot. All the blogs are like that. You tell me one blog, and any blog that listens to this and tells me otherwise that I'm wrong, show me the Carfax. Basic. It's a metaphor, guys. All right, don't take it too literally. Like, you don't need to show me how many times you crash your car. It's a metaphor, but it's basically the same concept. Show me the Carfax. Like, show me your papers. Like, if it's true, tell me who is it that is not under your payroll, and tell me if I'm lying that some of these labels or managements or agencies don't give you a certain amount of percentage for you to do the piece. Because why else would you be doing the blogs? Why else would you as a journalist, would you be, doing this for free? Like, it makes no sense. So if somebody ever asks you to, hey, can you, like, are you down to do an interview like me? Say yes. Because you never know if 10 years from now, I can be as big as Dancing Astronaut, and you can just like, I could just be like, yo, Zoinks, yeah, he's one of my first guys that, I interview, and yeah, he's big and he's killing it right now in the scene, and he's like, you should check him out. The latest song is just dope. That's already free publicity for me, for you.
That's the goals, bro.
That's the goals, that's the goals. So the fact that they rejected my offer, and it's not just that team, but a lot of teams, a lot of managers that rejected my offer, to do these free interviews for their artists. Mm-hmm. I feel like that alone is already bad management. Now, hear me out. I know some of them will push back. It's like, well, your numbers are not up, so why should we take a chance? Well, here's the thing. You don't lose anything at all. If you feel like you're going to lose anything, maybe it's your time. Maybe.
Just a conversation.
It's just a conversation. I'm not asking like, hey, have you heard, I've heard rumors that you've done this, and bad,
It's not like you're pressing.
Yeah, and I'm very courteous about that stuff, and I always write down topics and I send them over. It's like, hey, these are more or less what we're talking about. Is it okay? Some of them tell me, hey, can you take that off and not talk about this? We're not trying to angle this. And I'm like, no problem. Done. No problem.
That's the right way to handle it.
And if we do end up talking about it, I always give them the chance, like, hey, here's the interview. Do you guys approve it? No, we don't like. Could you take this part out? I was like, yeah, no problem. Done.
Yeah.
Do you approve the whole thing now? Oh yeah. Now it's perfect. All right, there you go. That's all. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. So I always bring this, level of respect to the artists, and I want them to always know, like, I'm here for you guys. I will never sabotage anyone's career unless they try to aim at me. That's a different story. But I will never sabotage anyone's careers. And the only thing I'm asking is just to sit down and have a conversation with me. That's it. And have your followers, your fans, your listeners
They want as much content from you as possible.
Well, not only did they want as much content from you as possible, but they want to know you more.
Yeah, they want to hear the conversations.
They want to hear your struggles. They want to hear your, like, all the shenanigans that you had to endure, you had to do to get to where you are, They want to hear your human side. Because a lot of times, a lot of artists are being treated like robots. Like, no, every artist is perfect to the T. And once one artist does some shit, let's cancel him. Like, dude, we're all humans, man. Unless you
can't find many long interviews of dubstep DJs. Like, other than the sidewalk talks, that's about it.
The other one that I know, and it's probably back to back with Willie Joy and Mr. Bill's podcast. Probably those are the only two. And Lizzie Jane does her thing, but I don't feel their conversations are pretty long. And I feel like their conversations are more direct and Q&A.
Yeah.
Versus, it's all Q&A based versus what we're currently doing right now. It's just having a sit talk.
That's why I really like Taboo's podcast.
Taboo's podcast?
Yeah. He does like 2 hour long conversations with the guys that he has on.
Dope.
And he doesn't do many views either. He's only doing like 200, 300, 400 views a video, but he puts one out every week. Dope. He loves to do it. Do you know Taboo?
No, I'd never heard of it. I'm gonna check him out right now.
He's a experimental DJ. He's like pretty big in the experimental scene.
Oh, does he have the A as a V?
Yeah.
Okay, then probably I've heard or seen his name before.
You've definitely seen his name around for sure.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. Oh, so I didn't know he has a podcast. That's actually pretty good. I'm going to hit him up for that.
Yeah, he has a podcast, and every week he has people on I've never heard of before, people I've heard of. Big heads, little heads.
That's dope.
Agent people.
That's dope. See, those are people. Those are also people that I'm trying to get to the show, but they're very.
My favorite one was the one he did with Disco Donnie. That was legendary.
Yo, that's fire, Disco Donnie.
You should try to get him on.
That's my peoples. I need to get him here, man. Shit.
Yeah.
Disco Donnie. Jeez. I mean, like, any big promoters I ever had was probably Lucho from Apex, and to me that was like, holy crap, that's big, man, for me.
Mm-hmm.
But shit, I need to get some of the industry people. I should get more in the industry. But like I said,
it's a cool, different like look on how stuff works. It's like seeing those podcasts. It's a cool change of pace for sure.
See that, and that's why I interview. That's why I don't just stick with interviewing artists. I also stick with interviewing other people from other industries or other genres or other work lines within the music industry. Like the underground events people. I interviewed those guys because they're doing for the first time their own festival shows in Miami.
Mm.
And this was then when they were starting to pop right now in January. That's past January. They done like at least 3 or 4 festivals in 1 year in Miami. Experimental bass. They're very into the experimental bass, but they do support all other genres with house and bass. And they do pay their locals. They do pay their locals, which is very admirable. Not something that a lot of festivals do or a lot of promoters do.
Hey. I never got paid for the shows I played in Miami.
I'm still waiting for my Life in Color checks. Never getting it because those motherfuckers bankrupts. They declared Chapter 11. So, well, there goes my money.
Wow.
Yeah, no.
What year was that?
I DJ at their festival in 2016.
Okay.
Did it again at 17. And since then, I've still be waiting for. And at that time, between 16 and 17, that's where I heard the rumors that they're filing Chapter 11 and shit.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, as a younger artist, it's hard because the people leverage the show. Like, I just got booked in Texas and Dallas, and I didn't get my flight paid for. I didn't get paid for the show.
Oh shit!
Bad deal, but I got to play in front of people, so it's like, what am I gonna do?
You gotta start somewhere. Yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
You gotta start somewhere, man. You gotta start somewhere.
It's like, oh, people tell me I should have said no, but it's like I've been dying to play in front of people.
Right. I feel you with that, man. I feel you. And I feel like that's one of the reasons why I actually just did that whole promoter DJ concept, because I definitely want to play for people, and I was tired of waiting for my moment. Like, I want to seize the moment. I don't want to wait for it, But as I look back, I will say that I did almost over 500 hours of a street promo.
Fuck.
I wish I could go back and gain those 500 hours back.
Hours into Ableton.
Exactly. I could.
That's what people tell me about. So I was like, oh man, I might join the Wasted Presents crew over here, and people are like, yeah, you're just going to be promoting the whole time.
Yeah. I mean, they were selling the dream. They were selling the dream. They were saying like, hey, you can perform in Life in Color. They did. I mean, they did. They gave me the slot for Life in Color, but at what cost? Well, 500 hours of my time.
Yeah.
I could have used those 500 hours of myself, and probably I could have been a little bit more far off than what I am right now. Probably. Who knows? But I do know that those 500 hours could be very useful for Ableton hours.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, bro. But other genres that you're willing to explore other than bass?
So with Icon, we've kind of had these collaboration sessions where we're assigned a demo that we have to write in a specific genre.
Really?
And I got assigned drum and bass, and I went down more of the liquid path, drum and bass, and I really liked producing that. So I might do that on my spare time now.
Okay. So it's not just only dubstep that you'll be doing, you can also experiment a little bit.
I like making tech house too and stuff as well. I just don't find as much time to do that.
I don't know. Isn't tech house a little bit easier?
Yeah, it's easy. So I just never spend the time on it. But it's popping off right now. I look at John Summit and I just see how big he is right now, and I'm just okay, he's making money. My favorite dubstep producer probably isn't making that much money.
I don't know why the fuck it's like that. House people get heavily compensated, and then dubstep producers are making pennies at the dime.
Yeah.
That's some fucked up shit. We need to change that. We need to change that, man. We need to change that.
Yeah.
Question: have you ever thought of doing collaborations outside of Icon people?
Yeah, I've done a bunch. I had the Nosphere with. I mean, I've had the collab with Nosphere come out on Hesh's label. In March, and I'm getting ready to release a collab in September. I've been sitting on with my boy Jandy for a really long time.
Dope.
Jandy's from Jupiter, Florida as well. So that's kind of how I got to meet him. And I just wrapped up a collab with my boy Joof. I don't know if you heard of Joof. He's from Denver, really talented producer. But yeah, as far as collabs go, that's what I'm sitting on right now.
And what has been like your favorite project up to now that you've worked on that you said like, holy shit, I'm so happy from this project?
Call Me the Devil on my SoundCloud, but it didn't do as good as my other ones, but that was my favorite.
Hey man, my favorite, I'll tell you, my favorite right now on SoundCloud is Raf.
All right. Check it out.
Check it out. It's a metal step, tear out dubstep track.
Nice.
It did not do well on SoundCloud. It doesn't have the same numbers as my other tracks, but it's definitely my favorite song because I feel like that song itself is like the most original song that I've ever.
It's funny how that works. Like the Party Starter flip I put out as my last release was like, I wasn't too thrilled on it. I wasn't, and like I got some feedback from some other producers that were like, it's good, it could be better. And I just said fuck it and released it, and it was did my best numbers, almost at 15K in like 20 days.
Wow. Wow. That's wild. And
it just got like picked up and just went off. I don't know.
My worst song that I've ever done is like 21K, and I still can't believe that people really fuck with that song.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I hate the song. I hate it even when I listen to it. It's called King Boo. I fucking hate the song, and I'm myself like, what was I thinking releasing this song? Yet people just they go nuts with that song. They're like, at least in the
it's funny.
At least that's what I see in the SoundCloud numbers. I see like a lot of people liking it, but
seems like all the other producers deal with that too.
I don't know why, man.
It seems like whatever they think's gonna blow isn't what blows, and what they think's not gonna blow is what blows. So it's like
that's such a fucking nightmare, bro. Because it's like, no, bro, that's not the one that I like heavily focused. Check this one, this one, this one.
This is the one where my ears were bleeding after the session.
Yeah, I put so much trouble in this. Fuck. Yeah, no, man. It's a gift and a curse for us producers, when shit like this does happen to us, and which is embracing overall, Now, I'm very curious to ask you this, because I don't know if Icon ever taught you guys this, but has Icon ever taught you guys like what it's like to be producer in the music industry, like any of the whereabouts that you should be aware of, you should be alert of, be careful about this and that, contracts, people and stuff like that?
Not too much. So Icon now has like a business program there
now,
and I think they took out a lot of that stuff in the music production and put it in there.
Really?
We do get one business class in Q4, but that's it. Yeah. They put it a lot onto the mentors and stuff to teach you that.
Oh wow. Mm-hmm. Fuck me. That's not good.
Yeah. So like Icon has definitely changed over the years. It's a great place, but yeah, it's definitely changed. It's like not a dubstep hub anymore.
Yeah, that's what it was known back then.
It's very pop oriented, not like a lot of pop music teachers, and that's kind of what they're trying to move towards.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I mean, it's good. Like, I'm learning a lot with music theory and ear training and, you know, like getting those stuff like really polished. But like, yeah, as far as like dubstep production, it's like almost non-existent there.
Damn, that sucks.
Yeah. It's definitely changed a lot. I mean, they got a lot of kids in there now. They're in the new building, bunch of kids. Yeah.
I feel like, and this was also an issue with my school as well. Like they only briefly talk about the music industry as a whole. Like, you know, be careful about this. Labels are right, that, this and that. But you see, they tell me like the brief story about it. They never explore much of the ugliness that goes behind it. You know, how I know some of these wild stories that I know, that I rant about in my podcast and I talk to a lot of people about it. It's because I find this a lot hysterical. I find this very hysterical. I found out some of the ugly shit through the promotion, through the promoters. They'll tell me, you know, certain stories of how artists work and how they get booked for a show. Networking on festivals, I found out certain things that I should have never found out, in a sense. Like, I can't believe this shit goes and happens in the industry and these are people that are A&Rs and managers and artists itself. They tell me these stories. Even the artist tells me their wildest stories in the show, and I'm like, how the fuck is this even possible? Like, how is this even like this is exactly why the industry is so fucked. And it gets more fucked up, the fact that the fucking schools don't talk about this shit. Like, you have to hear some of the ugly stuff from people like me, people like your mentors, your tutors, you know, people that you look out to. It's the only way that you find out some of this gnarly shit, bro. But you will never hear it from the school itself.
No, they don't really teach you how to play the game to your advantage.
No.
And what to take part in and what not to take part in.
They just tell you, here's how the game works. Okay, now you're on your own. Wait, what? What about my tools? Like, oh, you don't need tools. It says here that I need tools. Yeah, you're good to go. Like, so it's like, why the fuck are we paying you guys if you're not guys?
It's hard. It's hard. The whole music school thing, especially a place like Icon. Kids are going there expecting that they're going to be good when they leave, and
that's a fool's goal.
Yeah, and they expect like the school to be the answer to everything.
Yeah,
it's just simply not. And music is subjective.
Yeah,
your teachers, if you know about production, you have knowledge your teachers don't know. They have knowledge you don't know. Everyone has their own knowledge, and you kind of got to take everything with a grain of salt, because at the end of the day, everyone does music differently. Everyone produces differently. Everyone has different tricks they like and tricks they don't like, even though it works for somebody else. So it's a lot of taking it with a grain of salt and just knowing like what works for you.
I agree.
It's a huge flaw in this like music school system, especially because they don't specify it. Like, if they had different levels at Icon, maybe it would be better. Like, you come in and you know this much about production, like you're in these classes, or not everyone just in the same basic 101 classes.
Yeah, like it feels like weird that, you know, your level of production fits in the advanced class, but yet you're stuck in the beginners class. Yeah, you should be already in the advanced class, you know. And That's something that was like
it's
similar.
like hard. It's like for sound design, like yes, like I should have been in an advanced class, but like for music theory, I like knew nothing about.
Yeah,
so it's just
exactly.
like, it's so weird. Like
but
it's so hard to judge.
Yeah, basically. That was like a similar concept to when I entered school, college. They didn't put me on any of the beginning classes because they saw how far advanced I was with my college boards exams and my SATs. They said like, "Oh, you're too good to start English 101. You can already start English 201." That's like,
Okay.
Like instead of taking English 101 for a semester, I can already start like a year in advance of 2 semesters with English advance,
Yeah.
So something like that. That's how I started. And I feel like that should be something similar to every other school. Like if your level expertise is that high on certain courses, you should start already on the advanced courses. Like you don't need to learn the basics. Like that's where I feel like that's a waste of time at that point, because I get the school model, the school system, how it works. It's like, even though you know more than us, everybody has to start small, everybody has to start with a group, and this is why you're all grouped together. You need to learn and graduate together. I get it, but what if I am very well known on certain things and I could have start with the next group instead of starting the beginners group? I could be already intellectually on par with the other advanced group. Why do I have to like? I don't want to say like I'm being dragged down all the way to the 101 basics, but it feels like I could have just started. I could have already a head start, but you put me on the front, on the way on the back because I'm new. I'm the new kid in the block,
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know, man. It's something that I don't like about schools as well, and especially listen to this. Especially if you know more than the professor, and you challenge the professor, that's where they get very touchy. It's like they're the professor. You don't know nothing what you're talking about. But it's like, okay, maybe I don't know nothing. But what if I do know a lot more than you do on this subject, and I'm challenging you, and you cannot have a simple conversation with me? No, because you just want to prove then that you're wrong, and then that's it.
That happens. No, I don't like speak up in class like that, but it's definitely happened with other kids.
I'm definitely one of those kids that like I stay quiet, but when there's something that I do know and somebody dares to challenge me about it, I go back and forth. Like, and I can just show them my actions. Like, here, see, you didn't have to do all this. So and so and I know something about how times have changed and like how things are very different nowadays, especially on quality wise. Remember, there was a time in which, if your song is clipping or it's redlining, it's no bueno. Like you need to tone it down.
Now it has to be clipping.
Yeah, no. Now, if it's clipping, but it's not getting distorted, it's okay. Now it's like acceptable.
Yeah.
But back then, every instructor of mine will chew my ass off and say that you're doing it wrong. That you're letting it clip and you're letting it bleed. Like you can't do that.
Yeah, trust with my mentor, and he's actually like an old head that you would know. When he would see my projects, he would say the same thing. He's like, "You're clipping? Like, what is going on?" He couldn't wrap his head around it, and then he tried it. And now that's what he does.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
Yep. And now he's making a bunch of music.
Even though it's clipping. It's like, oh my God, you discovered Mars.
And it's like, I wasn't the one who discovered that.
Yeah. Damn, bro. I wish that they could teach you guys a little bit more about the business aspect of the industry and get you guys much more well prepared for that, I really
it's something like they don't know. Because they're
going on the fly.
I mean, you can cut this part out or whatever, but like they're teaching at Icon for a reason.
Got you. Okay.
But cut that part out. I don't want that on there. But
I'll think about it. Okay. I see what you mean about that. Yeah. Well, okay. Okay, so let's move on. I got a few more questions that we can wrap this up, my man. Something that we definitely talked about earlier was, when you say that you're making music, you can make like 5 songs per month, and then next month it could be 1 song. The term writer's block, do you believe in it?
My friend Lucas would hate me for saying this, but yeah, I do believe in it.
Why is that? Why is that you believe in it? And what do you do to get out of it? Remember, there's no right or wrong answers.
I believe in it because I think it has to come down to motivation. I don't know if it's like you're just blocked. I think it's just like you're used to like, it's hard to start with a blank canvas sometimes, and like you're used to your finished product and you're starting from the bare bones again, and you can kind of just get frustrated with the beginning processes, and then it just starts going around in your mind, and next thing you know, it's like a week of you talking down on yourself, and that turns into like a month of not writing music.
Yep.
The ways I get out of it is just pretty much, one day I'm just like, fuck it, I don't care what it sounds like, I don't care what happens, I'm just gonna fuck around. And then usually that's when a good spurt happens.
Well, that's actually a very good thing, man. And
because my friend Lucas, he goes by the DJ name Raptorum, and he quotes Hero Bus all the time on this, that writer's block doesn't exist. You just keep trying.
Listen. Hero Bus, shout out to him as well. Listen. If I tell you all the people that I've interviewed here, I can tell you that like at least a good 70% of the people that I've interviewed believe in writer's block, and then the other 30, they don't. There's literally no right or wrong answer. And everybody has their own way of saying yes, writer blocks exist, and no, writer blocks doesn't exist. I mean, I can tell you, my nitty gritty is my homie, my brother from another mother, and he will tell me that there's no such thing as writer's block. The concept of writer's block is like what here. This is his theory. Writer's block for people is what people normally do nowadays is that they're just not writing the tune that they want or that they want to hear. They feel like that's the tunes are just suck and to them they're not reaching to that, so that's their writer's block because it's not getting there, and they get dismotivated. But it's not really writer's block because anybody can just go ahead and pick up a laptop and just do something. It could be anything. Writer's block is considered to be when John Mayer is not writing a song. That's writer's block. And I'm like, that's kind of very deep, but I had to push him back on that one because say like, well, that may be true, and maybe it's because of laziness as well. Maybe it's because people are lazy about it, but people do get writer's block, and it is a real thing because there's times in which like you said, motivation. You're not motivated enough to do something. So what should you do? Oh, well, sound design or write another genre. Okay, those are ways to get you motivated and get you out of the writer's block. But that still proves the fact that you're not writing a song, or writing a session, it's because you're mentally blocked and you're mentally exhausted.
It's like not that you can't write a song. It's almost like can't get the idea. It's like writing the song is the shortest part of the process. Like it's finding the idea that's like the hardest, like when you're just trying to find that sound that like is gonna be the song, or like it just Yeah, I always say that writing the tune is literally the easiest and shortest part of the process.
It's creating the idea of what you're trying to put out
like
there.
Once when you're able to write the song, you're already flowing, so you're not even thinking. It's just like when you're in that thinking process of trying to like be in the synth to get that sound, it's just like can be demoralizing almost when you're not getting that idea to spark.
Yeah. And let me put it this perspective. This is something that I've been telling a lot of people, and people are like, "Holy shit, I didn't thought about that way." But it's like, well, it kind of is true. Here's how I view writer's block. I feel like writer's block comes from your brain, right? That you're mentally blocked. You can't do anything, right? I see brains as a supercomputer, as a SSD supercomputer. You know how SSD hard drives are. They write and they read. It's not like any of your Fusion hard drives that they can read stuff and then they'll write stuff, but they can't do both simultaneously. So I feel like our brains are like SSD hard drives that they read and write all the time. At a certain point, it's gonna get full up. You're full of it. Like it's getting full and you cannot process or learn new things. And you're just like blocked after that. It's like, fuck. So what do I do? Well, you do stuff that outside of it that does not require for you to read and write. You do stuff that it's basically functions that your body does automatically. For example, when you go brush your teeth, do you think about brushing your teeth or you just do it automatically without thinking twice? When you go eat something, do you think about eating the cheeseburger or it's just like you already know how to eat a cheeseburger? It's just your body reacts to that.
That shit's inhaled.
Yeah. I mean, when you're driving.
Yeah, I'll fuck up a double smash.
A double bacon with a fried egg, that shit will set me off flying. But even with that, like when you're taking a dump, you're not thinking about taking a dump. It's just your body's telling you that you gotta go, and you just do it, without thinking about it. It's just it does it automatically. And when you're taking a shower, you're not thinking of it. It's just your body reacts automatically without thinking about it. When those moments happen that your body does stuff that does not require to think about, that's when your brain starts to breathe a little bit and starts to inhale more information. And that's where the creative process starts to like spin out of control because you overthink so much that you're given time to think that when you're doing something that does not require think and freezes up the space, the creative process just go nuts and just like go. And that's why there's the running joke or the running meme about, about your best ideas comes from the shower. Because the shower, you're not thinking of you taking a shower. It just does automatically. At that moment, that's when you think about the idea. You're like, holy crap, I can do this. Like, holy crap, I know how to fix this project. Holy crap, I know what to do. Holy crap, I know I have the sound. I just had to get out of the shower and go open a session and start doing it. And bam, that's when shit hits it. So, and when I say this to a lot of people, the way I would explain it's kind of weird, but I try to get the point across and it makes a lot of sense. Psychologically, your brain, it just needs a breather. And that's how you get out of the funk, most of the time. Other stuff is, go hang out with your friends or spend time with your girl or your family or go to the movies or do stuff that you would actually fairly enjoy, happy thoughts, happy stuff that you enjoy. And you can get out of there much quicker as well as like that as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And let me ask you this, bro. Why is it that you actually name yourself Zoinks?
It wasn't my idea.
Okay.
I was just got into producing, and one night I was just smoking with my friend, and I was like, "Oh, what am I gonna call myself?" And he just said it, and I was like, "Yes,
dope."
I was like, "Yes, I'm running with that." I was like, "Perfect."
All right. Well, let me tell you, we got 3 more questions and we can wrap this up. All right, my man?
For sure. Let's do it.
All right. So far, what has been your greatest accomplishment?
Greatest accomplishment is getting to 1,000 followers on SoundCloud this year.
Boom.
I set that. I was like sub 150 at the beginning of the year. And
wow.
I said by the end of the year, I want to hit 1,000. And I did that by June. And so I'm going to crush that goal this year.
Absolutely. And how is it that you market yourself? You said that you release a song every 2 weeks, but other than just releasing your song, what is the process that you do that you market your tracks or market yourself to get to those followers?
So like all those songs are free downloads. And for the free download, you got to follow my SoundCloud, my Instagram. You got to like, comment, and repost the track. So it's a pretty deep download gate. But I mean, if you're going to download my tune for free, I feel like you should support me everywhere.
Right.
And that's kind of just how I've been gaining all the fans and stuff on Instagram and SoundCloud.
Do you use any monetary use to promote or market your songs or yourself out there in any of these social medias? And if you haven't, why is it?
I have for like SoundCloud before through like the repost chains and stuff, but they sometimes, I don't know, don't work the best. And so like the organic growth is like the best thing you can do, because on Spotify, if you're paying to get playlisted somewhere and that kind of a thing, they can, and you get caught, that like they can take your account away.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because like Spotify's like the playlisting's supposed to like all be done by them. Like it's not through like third-party companies and stuff. There's a lot of services out there and there's a lot of guys using them. And,
wow.
I can just say one thing. It's just better to get your song submitted to Spotify 40 days in advance and do the playlisting, pitching yourself, because that's just going to be the safest route to get your stuff out there. Because the worst thing you can do is put this money into Spotify promo, run up your numbers. Next thing you know, you wake up and your account's deleted.
Yeah, that's no bueno.
Or all your songs are taken down or whatever price is.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah, I mean, and there's guys on agencies right now that I've seen. I know the playlists that are through those services, and you see it on their page and stuff, and you're like, how is this guy being picked up by an agency? It just doesn't make sense. But I know I'm just gonna stay true to myself and just let the organic growth kind of talk for itself.
We got one more question and we can wrap it up. But before we get to that question, I give this opportunity to all my interviewers, to ask me a question about me or about the industry or any inside knowledge, whether it's, labels or, agencies, managements or contracts of business and shit like that I've done over the years. Do you have any question in particular that you want to ask me that you always want to ask to somebody that's within the industry and know how to get to it?
What's the best way to network?
So there's various answers to this question. The best way how I networked, this is one way. This is not the only way. This is one way. One way is to what I did, be a promoter, show the heads of the promoters what you're about, that you're not bullshitting, that you're in this for the long run and shit and like that. Gain their confidence, gain their trust. They'll give you more exposure. They'll give you more push. And eventually they'll give you access to festivals. And the beauty about these access about these festivals and these shows as well is that you're basically backstage. So fuck VIP, you're backstage all around. And you can be in the green room as with the main artist. So you just basically network your way out. From there, you talk everybody in backstage, everybody. If you find a way to get to backstage, talk to everybody. Because you never know that the person that you're talking to could be the next big thing, or it's just a small timer right now. but that small timer knows Marshmallow.
Yeah.
And
or it's just the missing piece to the puzzle on the business side.
Or is the missing piece of the puzzle. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is by, you still have to go to the shows, but yeah, you just network around the shows. Miami Music Week, you go to the pool parties or you go to these shows, most of the time, 8 out of 10 times, the artist will be within the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
The artist will always be within the crowd. 8 out of 10. If you know the artist, if you know who they are, or you know the people that they're talking to, say what's up, and be friendly. Oh, this is something I heavily tell people: approach friendly. Be a friendly person. Like, hey, what's up? Hey, you want a drink, man? I could get you a drink right now. Yeah, so you don't have to do the line. Yeah, like, here you go, man. Hey, my name is this. What do you do? Oh, that's dope, man. I'm here having a good time. Start a nice, friendly conversation, and eventually they're gonna ask you, "What do you do?" And you tell them, "Hey, I'm an Aspire music producer. I do this. I go to Icon, and I'm trying to get to this, and then." They'll be like, "Yo, that's dope. Well, hey, you should talk to so and so. I'm friends with them. Oh, well, maybe we should link up, man. Give me your SoundCloud or give me your Instagram. Follow me or DM me or give me your phone number."
Yeah,
it always works. Always works, no matter what. Any of these shows and any of the LA shows, dude, go to Space Jet. Go to Space Jet once in a while. Yeah. Even if you're not into clubs or like that, because I'm not into clubs either. I fucking hate clubs. I only work for them. I play for them. I don't like being on a club. I fucking hate them. Once in a while, it's always good to go to network. Especially because you have Space Jet over there. Space Jet is popping over there.
Yeah.
And I know the owners of Space Jet because they did shows over here in Miami. And it's because I know them because they're friends with my former manager. And I'm still friends with my former manager, but I know them because of they. It all somehow connects.
You keep in contact with them?
Not as I used to, because right now I'm in the podcast game. Maybe I'll reach out to them in the, like, hey, if you're down to do a podcast or interview with
Henry on the podcast.
Hey, absolutely. And I'm pretty sure I can get it. I can make it happen to get a Henry over here. I just need to contact my former manager and work it up and link it up. But yeah, networking, just go to the clubs, go to the shows, go to the festivals. Another way of networking is, I would say, like through the grocery boys, be friends with them, because that's what I did. I got into the grocery boys thanks to Dr. Ushu from Friends. All because I gave him a shot to interview him. And because I interview him, the boy like put me on blast on Twitter. And then that's where Mantic reached out to me and say, hey, you want to join? I'm like, wow, okay. All because I helped someone. That's another way. I helped someone out, and somehow I got connected to all these people. And this is the last way. This is the last one. With your school, network with everyone that's within the school that you believe they're about to be something, or there's someone, even if they're like the next big Martin Garrix or the next big, John Askew or whatever. Network with those guys. Stay in touch with those guys, because maybe their house and your base, but you never know. Like, any of these guys somehow can connect you with an agency or with a label, definitely, or with a management or a marketing publicist or something that they can I can match him and you. Shit like that, man. So like, it always works. So that's like the best advice I can give you when it comes to networking. Just, you have to go around. Is it okay if you do it virtually, like DMing from Instagram and Twitter and TikTok and whatnot? Yes and no.
It's just hard because you're not in front of their face.
Exactly. So
people
they
don't do anything for you.
Exactly. Exactly. But if you're gonna do that through emails and virtually, the best advice I can give you, and this is foolproof, the best advice I can give you, that if you want to reach out to artists and you want to be buddies with somebody, is you DM them and say, hey, I like your contents, this and that. Hey, be friendly, all this. Your song that you got released, congratulations. It got me inspired to do this song. Would like for a feedback whenever you have a chance. 9 times out of 10, they'll reply you back. They'll listen to your song and be like, yo, thank you very much. I just checked your song. It's dope. I like it. It needs a little bit of this, but you're on the right track. Keep it up, man. Stay in touch with me. Send me some more. 9 out of 10. It always happens, because it has happened to me on labels, on artists, like blogs, you name it. If you're gonna do it that way, it's because it's the business concept that I'm pretty sure you know about this. If you're gonna do business with somebody, you need to show them what are you selling them. If you're gonna sell yourself, like what benefits them to use you as the product. It's like, all right, dope. Your song is dope. Okay, what can I do for it? Like, what do you want me to do for it? Offer them a service, offer some sort of free service. Like, hey, it's dope. I can give you, if you're a graphic designer, hey, here's an artwork that I did. If you fuck with it, I got more stuff and blah, blah, blah. Or like what I did vocal packs for labels. They're all under my name. I'm on the royalties, but I've did vocal packs in which I've done like over 1,000 vocal packs for various labels. And because I did those vocal packs for free for them, you got any songs? Yeah, here you go. It's business goes both ways. You got to offer them something for them to feel like, okay, we can use you, because at the end of the day, it is business. Whether it's good business or bad business, you want to get to those people. You want to get to those, artists and whatnot. That's how you most of the time you get to. But I will say this: you're already at the right track. You're already right there. The fact that you're already telling me you're buddies with Northsphere, that's already a good step. Josh is already hitting you up for tracks and whatnot. That's already another big step. Little by little, you're getting there. So the fact that you got all these people, hitting you up and talking to you, start talking to their buddies now. Reach them out. And before you know it, you're already networking around their circle. And it's getting to the point that when they meet up, it's like, oh, Zoinks, what's up? It's like, oh, you know him? That's my boy. How do you know him? Oh, dude, he sent me some tracks and it's fire, yo. Like, yeah, we met online and this and that. This is our first time. Yo, yeah, he's good. Words.
Definitely. I appreciate this interview, man.
I'm very grateful that you came over to the show, man. And I hope I learned a lot about you and all the stuff that you're doing. And I hope you learned some stuff as well. And I hope that you can take this to the next level. And I'll tell you this, you're already there, man. You're already there. Bro. You just stay, don't stop. You're already there, man. You're right there.
Thanks, my Jim.
Before we leave, what are free advice that you'll give to someone if they want to start their career as a music producer?
Do it because you love it, not because you want to be on stage. That shit will get you nowhere. Yeah.
That's
probably the most important thing you can say to yourself before you start getting into it.
What are the two advice that you'll give them?
Be patient. Yeah. Be patient because
that's very important.
You never know what's right around the corner.
Yep.
Insightful Zoinks quote.
Well, my dude, thank you so much for coming over to the show, man. It was an honor and pleasure for you to coming over, man. I had such a wonderful conversation, and thank you for your patience, and congratulations on your success, and congratulations on the fact that you're the first person that I interview on my new studio set. So,
hell yeah.
This is dope, man. Before we leave, plug yourself out. Let the people know where they can follow you.
All right. So you can follow me on Zoinks __ music on Instagram and Twitter, and just Zoinks on SoundCloud and Spotify.
That's what's up, man. Thank you very much for coming over to the show, man. And thank you guys for listening. And remember, every week is a brand new episode with a brand new topic. So always remember to like and subscribe for your weekly episodes at the Lone Wolv Podcast for SoundCloud, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts. And of course, the fucking YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Lone Wolv Podcast, where you can check all my latest episodes. And also, guys, comment down below and let me hear your thoughts. Share your experiences. If you guys got a specific topic that you want me to cover or you want Zoinks to cover it, please let us know on the comments down below, and we'll do our best to cover it on the next episode. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys at the next one. All right? Peace.